Hello everybody and welcome back to part 2 of my series where I go over how to read music for bass clef. With that, let's go ahead and get into the video about bass clef key signatures. In the last video we actually learned that they do serve a purpose, in fact, and in this video we're going to go over exactly what that purpose is and exactly how it affects you and everything that you need to know about them for the rest of your time in band. Fun fact, I bought this weird little stick today, and it should be long enough, yep, and it is long enough in order to make these lines here on the board straight. I made these lines before buying the stick, to clarify, so that's why they're not straight. This should make it better. I haven't tried it out yet, but I'm about to, so we're gonna go ahead and get into that. In our last video, we went over a couple of basic notes that everybody should know. Oh yes, that works like a charm. That is so much better than last time. Can you believe that? That is the nicest that has looked this entire series, and this is only episode 2. Let's go! Now, in our previous video, we actually learned that key signatures are important. They do actually mean something, and this is where we figure that out. So before we actually begin, let's go ahead and talk about it in just a second. Key signatures are changes to notes' pitches. Flats are a pitch down. Sharps are a pitch up. Pretty simple stuff, am I right? When a note is natural, it is neither flat or sharp. Flats look like the letter B. Sharps look like a hashtag. And naturals look like that. Sharps or flats in the key signature affect every note in that spot in the key signature that's in the actual music itself. Some people don't actually know this, but this does actually include octaves, so yeah, that's a little bit useful for you. As we learned in the last video, because we did touch on it, we learned that octaves are variations of the same note, such as B, which was right here, and B, which is right here above the staff. Now let's say that we're reading a piece with one sharp in the key signature. Now whenever there's one sharp in the key signature, that means that F is sharp, because as we know, this is F, because A, B, C, D, E, F, this is F. We know that F is sharp because, well, that's where F is. However, F right here is not the only F that gets affected by this. All Fs are affected unless there is an accidental. We'll get more into those in just a second. This means that whether it's this F, or if it's this F, or if it's this F, or if it's this F, all of them are going to be sharp unless there's an accidental. Now, we need to know what an accidental actually is. I must go. Accidentals are like a rental home, a temporary change. An accidental is a temporary key change. Accidentals only affect within a measure, with the exception being ties, which we'll probably get into separately. I don't know if accidentals actually affect octave changes, like the same note but on a different octave. Editor Me will tell you right here about whether or not that is factual or not. Pause if you need to. Key signature on the board has 2 flats, meaning that all of these E's are keyed in E flat. Now, in this measure of 5/4, we can show the effects of accidentals with relative ease. Right now, there are 5 quarter notes, all of them being E flat, thanks to this key signature. But if we were to add a natural right here, then that would mean all 3 of these E's become natural, while these 2 will stay flat. Thanks. Back to key signature with you idiot. All right, now here is another key signature where we see 5 flats. Wow, that is a lot of flats. I'm gonna add whole notes everywhere where these flats impact them, and then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, these things kind of suck. Okay, I've marked every place where the key signature will affect you that you will probably need to know about this key signature. So in case you missed it, we have E flat, D flat, B flat, A flat, and G flat. G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat, E flat again. We have a low E flat, low D flat, B flat, A flat, and then G flat again. Like, there is a lot of flats now because just of this key signature. The key signature of itself is honestly doing a lot to this measure, wouldn't you think? But yeah, there is one more thing that you actually need to learn about key signatures. So we're just gonna go ahead and get right over to that. All right, awesome. Now, your directors are going to want to know the names of key signatures sometimes. It's going to be a question that pops up. I can assure you it's going to be a question that pops up. Happens quite often, and a lot of times it happens to people that don't know the names of the key signatures. So we're gonna fix that problem. Now, I can't speak for the sharp and natural key signatures, but on screen, Editor Me over here is going to tell you all about how what the no flat, no sharp key signature is, and about how the one sharp key signature and what they are called. Okay, so now that he's done with that, we're going to talk about how to figure out the names of these other key signatures. You may have noticed that I have D flat, F, B flat, and E flat written here on the board. Now, there's a reason for that. Let's look at the key of F right here. This key has one flat. Why is it not called B flat key if, you know, the B is the only flat in there? Well, that was a strange decision. I can't lie to you. I don't know. It's something weird. I don't really know the full explanation. I'm not even going to have Editor Me try to figure this out. So, let's say you have two flats. That means you look at what the first flat is, and that's how you know the name of the key signature. It's B flat. It's the B flat key. And it's the same for this one. This one has three flats now, which means that the second from last flat is E flat. So it's E flat. That's the key. The key is E flat. Over here where there's five flats, based on what you know, what is it? That's right, it's D flat. You totally didn't tell me that because you saw it right up there, right? Because you knew it was the second to last flat in like the thing. Yeah, I know you did. Learn! Alright everybody, thank you for joining me today. I actually forgot to add music for the last one, which was honestly, yeah, that was a bad decision. The video feels pretty bland without the music, so I'm gonna add music this time, I assure you. This video This video can very easily teach a tuba player or a euphonium player or any bass clef reading percussionist how to read bass clef key signatures, because honestly it's very useful to know exactly what the key signatures actually do and what they change in order to actually play the music a little bit better. So that way you can have a better understanding of how it actually works. Merry Christmas!